Now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everyone. This is Jaco again. I just want to see by show of hands if you can hear our voice and see the screen. Just raise your hand if you can see this alternatively. Good, thank you. It seems like we have good audio and good visual. We'll start in a minute or two. Just get everybody the chance to join. Maybe grab yourself a cup of coffee, maybe some water, and we'll start shortly. Thank you very much. Okay, I think we can start. Again, good morning, everyone. Welcome to one of our Tuesday weekly webinar sessions where we as SOLIDWORKS and our partners host weekly a session regarding SOLIDWORKS and SOLIDWORKS related products and topics. Today, me and my colleague Rudolf will explain to you some of the benefits and values of using SOLIDWORKS Visualize. So thank you for joining us in the session. So I just want to like to introduce myself quickly. My name is Jaco. I work for the Sol Systems in the SolidWorks department. And I'm the manager for the English Africa region, foreseeing all the business in Africa with all the technical support and managing and supporting my staff and resellers to get you the best benefit. Like I said, today we will look at SolidWorks Visualize briefly, and just to give you a look and a feel what it is about and how you can benefit from using Visualize. I want to thank my colleague Rudolf from MiCAT Systems, who will be hosting this webinar this morning to you guys. And at the end, we will run a post and we will have a close off, and we can then discuss some further questions and answers. Without further ado, I'm going to give over to Rudolf. He's a senior applications engineer at MiCAT Systems, and he will introduce himself briefly and continue the webinar. Thank you guys for attending.
Cool. Thank you so much, Jaco, for that introduction. And just to add on what he said, thank you guys for joining us today for this SolidWorks Tuesday. So just a quick introduction to myself. I am a qualified mechanical engineer working for MiCAT Systems. I've been working for MiCAT for 6 years now, and I specialize in CAD and then also simulation. We do training, support, consultation, and as a senior application engineer, it's my goal to add value to our customers and also to help them achieve their goals. Just one of my bragging rights. So recently this year, I've been lucky enough before all the lockdown and the COVID that I was invited to SolidWorks World in Nashville to go and to collect my Elite Application Engineer Award. So I'm really honored to be able to get that. Right, just for you guys that don't know, I'm from Cape Town, South Africa. So I'm down here working for MiCAT in the Cape Town branch. So yes. Just regarding MiCAT, so we are the reseller for SolidWorks. Just from our side, please stay in touch and use us. And there's a few websites there and the LinkedIn profile that you can follow us. Every day we've got a YouTube video that's been uploaded. It's called the Meerkat Minute. So it's just a quick tip and trick that gets you through the day, just a start of your day. Okay. Before we begin, I would just like to ask a question to the audience regarding visualize. So let me quickly launch this poll question, and then let's see. So you will see there's a poll that I opened up. So just please go and vote there, just so that we get some feedback from you guys. Okay, so the poll question was, are you currently using SolidWorks Visualize? We have 37% that says yes and about 60% that says no. So hopefully the 60% that says no, hopefully by the end of this session you guys will be able to start using Visualize. Okay. Just a few more seconds. All right. Thank you guys for voting. Let's continue. Okay, so let's start right into it with SolidWorks Visualize. So just a quick introduction to SolidWorks Visualize. So SolidWorks Visualize allows you to leverage your 3D CAD data to create photo quality content in the fastest and easiest way possible. From images to animations, interactive web content, virtual reality, and some immersive 3D content. SolidWorks brings you your product to life, and it's the camera for your CAD data. Okay, so let's start off with SolidWorks Visualize. So SolidWorks Visualize comes in two packages. We've got our Visualize Standard package and then the Visualize Professional package. So today's webinar, I'm just going to quickly go briefly discuss Visualize Standard. I'm going to show you the basic user interface of Visualize. And then at the end, I'm going to show you some benefits you get with Visualize Professional. Okay, so SolidWorks Visualize Standard is a standalone package. It's from SolidWorks that enables your design team to produce photorealistic renders and still images that can be used for prototyping or marketing content. So SolidWorks Visualize is available, is included in your SolidWorks Professional and Premium package on active subscription. And just for you guys that are interested, it used to be called Bunk Suite, so SolidWorks bought out Bunk Suite, and it's now called SolidWorks Visualize. And the nice thing about SolidWorks Visualize, as I'm going to demonstrate to you now, is that it is a standalone product. So it's a separate serial number that you can install on any computer. Okay, so the next video, I'm just going to show you a basic demo of SolidWorks Visualize, just so that you get used to the interface, and I'm going to go through that real quickly. So let's start on that. Okay, so within inside of SolidWorks, we all are familiar with SolidWorks itself. So we can use SolidWorks Visualize inside of SolidWorks. So we're going to put on the add-on for SolidWorks. Make sure that's active. So as soon as you activate that, your SolidWorks Visualize tab will become active. And then from inside of SolidWorks, you can export or export advanced. So we're going to use the export simple option in this case. And then notice SolidWorks Visualize will open up in the background, and it will directly transfer into SolidWorks Visualize. As soon as I open it up, I can see it just to show you. So the nice thing about this is it's completely linked to SolidWorks. So any changes you make inside of SolidWorks, it will automatically update inside of Visualize. Okay, next I'm quickly going to open up a machine just to show you how easily it is to set up your first render. Okay, so if I open up this machine, I'm going to quickly show you a function inside of SolidWorks Visualize that's called the Visualize Easy mode. So if I press spacebar on my keyboard, you will notice that there's a 5-step process that I can set up my Visualize. So my first option is going to be to import a file. So inside of SolidWorks, you have multiple file types that I can choose from. I can simply import inside of SolidWorks Visualize. My next step will be to go and add an appearance. So this will list all the current appearances that is currently assigned to my Visualize project. From here, I can manipulate my appearances. I can add appearances. I'm going to add this green appearance to my project. So that's my second step, and you can change it from there. My next step will be just going to show you here that green metal is being added. My next step will be to add a scene. So my current scene is this warehouse. So let's say I'm not happy with that. You can add any environment or scene to your assembly or to your project. For instance, this gravel pit, or just a white plain background inside of the field. So you can manipulate your scene from here, or you can simply add a back plate or a background. My third step or fourth step is my camera. So here I can manipulate my camera. So my camera is basically my lens that I use to look through my camera. So you can manipulate your camera view. You can manipulate your perspectives. You can add certain filters. You see there. So I'm going to use the antique filter. So I'm happy with that camera view or that camera setting. And then the final is the render option. So notice as soon as you've got two options there, you can left click or you can right click. So if I right click on that render option, it will pop up with my render profiles. These are predefined profiles that I set up. So I can use these profiles to specify a certain output that I wish to accomplish. So notice there I can choose between just a normal render, a high quality, high resolution, and so forth. So in this case, I'm just going to do a high resolution render, and I'm going to click on render, and it will just take a few minutes, and then it will render out, and it will save my project out as a specific render. Okay, so this is my final render as a high quality, and we can continue. Okay, but let's say this is the easy mode, but let's say I want to have more control over my renders. What I can do then is I can just press spacebar again, and I will jump automatically back to my default user interface. Okay, oh sorry, apologies. I don't know why that's happening all the time. I apologize for that. Okay, sorry. So inside of SolidWorks, just going to go back. Okay, so I'm going to show you just quickly the heads up view bar. So this is the heads up view bar there at the top. So you've got different render selections. So you've got your preview, fast, accurate. So for your fast render, that's your second option, you can specify between quality. I'll show you that now. So fast render, you can specify between quality and speed. That's just to to prioritize your quality over your speed, or your speed over your quality. And then my final input would be the accurate render. That's basically as your output tool, that's going to be your most accurate render Still not your final render, but it's just to get a good idea of what's it's going to look like at the end of your final render. And you will see it runs through all those passes for me. Okay, the next one here is the I'll just to show you again. That's the denoiser feature, denoiser button. So what this is it's a function inside of SolidWorks. It's a feature that I brought in 2017. It's called the SolidWorks Visualize Denoiser. That's basically renders your output as 10 times faster. So you will notice that I can put that on and off. So if you have the correct graphics card, you can enable that option by going to Options, then going to User 3D Viewport, going to Initialize Denoiser. So that enables my denoiser option. Okay. Notice if I've got that on now. So now notice how the noise is being reduced. Okay. Next up is the what I should show you here is the turntable. So this is a Visualize Professional feature. So the turntable I can enable or disable by just clicking on that option there, and that enables me to actually rotate my project around the turntable, and I can render that out as an animation, which is quite nice. Next is my selection tool, so you can filter between your model, parts, groups, or appearances. So if I select a part, if you click on your project, it will only select that part and it will highlight in my tree. If I select appearance, for instance, if I select the appearance, it will highlight in my appearance tab. You can see there. Then if I click on part, I want to manipulate that part. Let's say I want to move around that part. Then you're going to use the manipulation tools. So for there you've got move, scale, pivot. So let's say I want to move those tires. I need to select my manipulate tool. Then I can manipulate those tires up and down, left and right, so forth. Next up is my camera tools. You can simply use your camera tools to rotate, pan, zoom, twist, or look at. And then you've got your view presets. That's basically just the same as your SolidWorks CAD, just your right, front, back, top, isometric, and so forth. And then the output tools. I'll get to that later on, the output tools. Yeah. Alright, next up is I'm going to quickly jump through these tabs here at the top. So remember, in the easy mode we have those 5 steps. So this is basically just a more advanced 5-step process that I can run through. So you've got your model. This is the same as my design tree. It lists all my parts, and you can manipulate the parts and visibility from here. I can change the opacity, I can transform, I can change the position, I can scale the specific parts, the group, or the assembly. So I can change my transparency of my part if I want. Next tab is going to be my appearance tab. So here's a whole list of current appearances that is assigned to my assembly. Notice if I click on this yellow, I can actually manipulate this by changing the appearance type. I can change the roughness. I can say it's a specific appearance type, but I'm going to leave it as it is. It's a metallic paint in this case, or metal paint. I can add my own appearance. I can add decals, or I can import appearance. I can add textures. I can change the texture mapping. Next is my scene tab. So for the scene tab, same as the previous easy mode. So I can change my specific scene here. I can manipulate my scene from here, change the brightness. I can change the gamma, and I can also manipulate the rotation. I can put on floor effects, shadows, and so forth. And then also I can add some backplates if I want to. And then if you want to, you can add your own environment. You can only add your own backplate, and you can add lights to your model. Finally, my camera, as I said, this is the way you view your model. You can specify a whole lot of different cameras, and you can render all of them out all at once or separately. It's up to you. And I can manipulate my camera views as well by changing specific the type of camera, adding a new camera, import a camera view. From here I can transform my camera, change the position of my camera. I can add some filters if I want to, and then some more advanced options that I'll get to later. And then finally is my library. Now SolidWorks comes pre-installed with a local library, so it's got all those different appearances installed with SolidWorks. So how this works is I can simply drag and drop a specific color that I want onto my model, and it will automatically update. So if you see, if I render this now out, you see that color is rendered out. But let's say I want more options. So what I can do is I can go onto the cloud. So this is linked to your account. So you can go here and you can download more appearances. So simply click on the appearance you want to download. Just wait for it. It's quite fast. And now as soon as it's downloaded, it will automatically be uploaded to your local folder. And there it is. Now I can use that as well. Quite cool. Now finally, it's as I said, I'll get back to the output tools. So let's have a look at my specific output tools. So for SolidWorks Visualize Standard, only the two top output tools will be available, which is my snapshot or my just render output tools. And then for Visualize Professional, you will have animation, sun study, and turntable options available as well. I'll get to that later. So in your output tools, you have a whole list of different options that you can change. You can specify the output folder, you can specify the image format, output mode, you can all cameras, all configuration, and so forth. You can specify a specific filter that you want to add. You can change the resolution size, and you can actually specify, do you want to have, let's say you only have 30 minutes to do a render. You can actually specify the time that you want to render it out. I only have 30 minutes, then it will do the best in that 30 minutes. And you just click on start render. And then also the one, as I said, this is a snapshot. You can just save it out as a snapshot, and then we'll just make a snapshot of the current view you are in. It's like a screen grab. Then, as I said, this is my SolidWorks Visualize Professional options. For my animation, I've got these types of options here. I can actually create a movie from my images, range, frames per second. I can output my turntable, and then also output my sound study, where you specify the time of day. I'll get to this later. Okay, so this was just a basic user interface. I'll show you now just a few examples of what the output files looks like. This was rendered out as high quality. Okay. Next up, let's jump right into Visualize Professional. So SolidWorks Visualize Professional adds onto the capabilities of SolidWorks Visualize Standard by enabling the user to demonstrate products more effectively with a full animation of parts, model, appearances, cameras, and environments. Or you can import your SolidWorks CAD motion analysis inside of Visualize Professional. We can quickly show off the final design with a 360-degree spin. We can create interactive web content and compare our design solution with the configurations. And we can add camera filters. So with SolidWorks Professional, Visualize Professional is a standalone package and that can be bought separately. You get a free Visualize Boost license with your Visualize Professional license. I'll get to that later. Okay, so Visualize Professional capabilities. So this is only available in Visualize Professional. We're going to go through these few capabilities. So let's start off with my configurations. So in SolidWorks Visualize Professional, you have the capability of creating different configurations of your model. So configurations is used to easily manage multiple color schemes and other variants of your product. So it's quite useful. Then you can render out all your different configurations. Next up is my animation. So the most obvious need that would require SOLIDWORKS Visualize Professional is the need for animation. So with SOLIDWORKS Visualize Professional, you can create a video that has your model or camera moving from easy to set keyframe data. So let me demonstrate this. So in this video, I'm going to quickly show you the basic interface or how to add animation to a camera. So first off, we need to select a specific camera that I want to assign a keyframe to. So I'm going to select that camera. I'm going to add a keyframe to that. That will enable the animation of that camera. So notice as soon as I add that keyframe, my animation scroll bar will be there at the bottom that I can use. And I can use that animation of that camera and manipulate it. So I'm going to start off, what should it do in the first 5 seconds? So I want the camera to rotate about that point, the first 5 seconds. Then at 9 seconds, I want that camera to move even further. So notice the animation ribbon there, it's shown in red, yellow, and green. So you can manipulate that ribbon as we go along. So it's quite easy to set up animation like this. So my final setup will be till 16 seconds. I want to zoom in a bit at that panel there. And notice now that my animation ribbon is set up, my path of my camera is set up, and now I can use this to view my camera. So let's have a look. I'm going to take that back and let's preview that camera view. So look at this. So I'm going to play this camera. It's going to follow that path that I just set up. And this is just a preview render. So if you want to actually go and fully render this out, you are just going to use your output tool, set it as animation, and it will actually render out this animation for you. So you can create a movie of that. So it basically takes a lot of pictures and just stitch the pictures together to create a movie. Okay, I just want to show you the capabilities of this animation and how good it can look. So this is a video that I'm quickly going to show you of what is possible with this animation. So this is a professional camera animation made in Visualize Professional. Obviously, there's a lot of different camera views and a lot of light that's been added to this animation, but just to show you the amazing capabilities of Visualize Professional. Yeah. Also, what you can also do with the animation is you can do a nice explode of your assembly, as shown in this video. And then also you can do a sun study. And I can show you that. So the sun study output allows Visualize users to see what the play of lights looks across the model throughout the entire day. This is perfect for interior designers who need to see how sunlight casts shadows from interior concepts throughout a complete day of sun cycles. You can see there. The next capability inside of Visualize Professional is the camera filter. So you unleash your creativity and add additional effects to your Visualize content with these camera filters. We've got the bloom filter as well. I'm going to show you an example of that now. And you've got a whole list of different filters that you are able to use. So just the example of the bloom filter. So notice the light gives the bloom effect. And then also this is just another filter that we can add to my visualize project. Just gives that rustic look. And I think the really important thing add on to Visualize Professional is this render queue. So this allows you to create multiple render jobs to run them as in a batch. So it's basically as a printer queue. So you just send all your projects to this queue and it will render it out as you go along. Just let's say you work the whole day and you set up all your renders, and at the end of the day you just simply click that it should start your queue, and you log off, and then you can just the next morning come into work, all your renders will be complete. Just frees up some time for you. Next is the VR outputs. So VR outputs is you can specify the number of images from around a model, and then it stitches them together so that the model can be viewed from all angles. It creates a really nice experience around the model. So the VR outputs is ideal for showing your design to stakeholders for review and for interactive marketing experience to tell a deeper story with your CAD data. Also, we've got the panoramic output. So the panoramic outputs also stitches multiple render images together to form a nice 360-degree panorama image. Once created, the active camera function as a pivot point from which you can pivot and zoom to explore the environment. Panoramic outputs are convenient ways is convenient for interior spaces like cars, planes, and large assembly plants. Let me show you an example of this. So remember that assembly that we had earlier. Let me show you this example. So you can simply send this link to your customer, and the customer will be able to rotate this. I'm doing this live now. This is just a link that I am able to rotate inside of my web browser. And another example for interior. So this is inside of the aeroplane. So what you can do is you can simply move around, and this is all rendered inside of Visualize Professional. And then the free license you get with your Visualize Professional is called the Visualize Boost. So the Visualize Boost allows you to use another machine as your render farm for your render work. So if you have a lot of work to get done and a little time to do it, you can use the Boost node to do the rendering while you can continue on your own computer. It just frees up some system resources. So if you have a dedicated rendering machine, you can use this Boost license, and you can offload all your renders to that Boost computer or Boost node, and it will render out 24/7. Right, it's quite useful. Right, and some extra stuff that I want to show you, which I thought was really cool to show. Was the first one is the video decals. I'm going to show you some physics and driving simulator, and then this is all new to Visualize 2019. So this was in the part of the what's new in 2019. And also the NVIDIA MDL or PBR support. That's just a specific material that you can download from NVIDIA's website. It's just a type of material that you can actually use now inside of Visualize. Let me show you just this video. So first off is the decal. So in Visualize 2019, it's the ability to import videos or images sequenced directly into Visualize Professional, creating a vivid animation of products for LED screens like laptops, consumer electronics, or your car navigation screens or airline headrests. It's quite useful. Then also is the vehicle driving simulation. This is used to create driving footage or dynamic still shots of vehicles that don't even exist yet. It's quite easy to set up. So you'll see in this video, they set up a path for you. You can just manipulate the path, and that car will actually follow that path for you, and you can render that out. On top of that, what you can do is you can manipulate the movement of the car by just pressing on your keyboard, your moving forward, moving backwards, left or right keyboard keys. You can use that to manipulate your car movement, and you will get videos like that you can render out. You can even plug in an Xbox controller and move it around like a game. Alright, and then also is the physics simulator. With just a few simple clicks, you can watch your item collide and fall, just like you would in real life. After physics is set up, use the shake tool to randomize your jitter to selected elements. So just another nice video to show you the capabilities of Visualize Professional. And that was it from my side. Thank you guys for listening, and let's take it from there. I think, Jaco, I think it's time for the questions and answers.
Thank you, Rudolf. Yeah, thank you for the presentation. It was very well done. Great content. Greatly appreciated. Guys, do you have any questions? I see there's one, Rudolf, for you. Is there an online library or additional colors or textures that are not listed in the current cloud options, i.e., let's say gold? So I guess the question is, any additional colors and materials except from the default install?
Yes, there is. So as I mentioned, there's on the NVIDIA website, there's a library that you can actually download. That's just additional appearances, and I know there's a few other websites that is available that you can download specific appearances from. So yes, definitely.
Great, thank you. Guys, any additional questions from your side? Let's give it a minute or two. How can you get this link to that, Rudolf?
The link to the materials.
Yes.
Well, I can see if I can share it quickly. So if you just go to NVIDIA MDL, if you just Google that, then you will see it will just direct you to that specific website where you can download those appearances.
I think, sorry, the guy was Clive who asked this question. Please send me an email and I'll get Rudolf to get us the link and I will forward it to you, Clive. Then we can have that library to you.
Yes.
Thanks, Rudolf. Any other questions, guys? Any other feedback?
Just to add on that, there's also a website called the polygon.com, where you can also download a whole bunch of materials.
Great. Thanks, Rudolf.
Yeah.
Right. It doesn't seem like there's any more questions. Guys, thank you for attending this webinar. If you feel later on you want to ask us any questions, please, there's another question. Just hold on, Rudolf.
Yes.
Okay, please, can we have a recording of this meeting? Yes, sure. We will make a recording of this available to you guys in a day or so's time. Then we will just remind me via email and I will gladly share this recorded link to you. Alternatively, if you guys need any questions answered, please forward it to us and we will make sure that you get this answers back to you as soon as possible. And please remember, next week, Tuesday, we have same time, same place with the SOLIDWORKS simulation as a topic. Please tell your colleagues, please join this webinar. It's promised to be a good content. And I want to thank you for attending today's seminar. Thank you, Rudolf, for your time and your effort. Thanks, guys. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.